Sponsored by Anker Nano. Hey guys, how are you all doing? If you're new here, welcome. My name is Krazy Ken, and today we're going to be taking a look at the RangeXTD 3, a product that was created by a quantum physicist. I don't even know where to begin with this idiocy, honestly. I mean, if you're a quantum physicist and you're now inventing cheap, fishy Wi-Fi repeaters, man, you've really stepped down in your career. I've received many messages about these types of repeaters and extenders, but the first one I recall receiving was from Snow Terabyte on Twitter. And don't worry, I would love to cover other wireless type things, especially those stupid Faraday cages for routers or those 5G blockers. I would love to talk about that stuff in future episodes, but that's for a later day. Anyway, right off the bat, I won't say this is 100% a scam because one, it actually exists, and two, it actually arrived pretty quickly. I think it delivered to my place in about 2 weeks, so that's not too bad. But the problems lie in the reviews, the fake reviews, and the very misleading advertising. So let's go ahead and dive in to what the RangeXTD is, but more importantly, what it isn't. The RangeXTD product video claims this quantum physicist was tired of hearing how much his friends were paying for internet access, so he decided to create a revolutionary new Wi-Fi device. Or, as they like to say, technology device, which is groundbreaking, and it will help you eliminate expensive internet bills and take back control from greedy internet companies. A little overdramatic, but okay. What's wrong with this? Well, first off, this isn't a revolution. This isn't anything groundbreaking. It's a Wi-Fi repeater. They're pretty common. Also, these aren't new. Wi-Fi repeaters have been around for at least 20 years. And second, the inventor that is featured in this product video doesn't exist. Also, you never see him in the same shot as the product. That's a huge red flag. And also, a simple reverse search shows he's merely an actor in a bunch of stock footage clips. So the whole backstory is fake. It's a clever trick though. If a consumer isn't conditioned to pick up on that fakeness, they're gonna watch the video and consume the story and merely react on impulse and emotion. That's another reason why the product video talks about the greedy internet companies. They made this enemy, which is easy for any consumer to hate. And the advertisers are doing that intentionally. They know better. And they're saying, hey, join this movement against these greedy people. That's something that anybody can get on board with. Who wouldn't want to be a part of that movement? People like feeling like they're part of something. And as a seller, if I can warm up my audience like that, I'm going to be able to convert them and make them purchase my product much more easily. So be careful out there. Sometimes these fake stories will have disclaimers in them, so always be on the lookout for those. I still think it's unethical to make a fake story in the first place, but if a company wants to do that and they at least include a disclaimer, well, I guess you can get half a brownie point. So that kind of crap was already triggering my bullshit detector. But there was something else that was bothering me this whole time. The reviews. Now, fair warning, we're about to go on a little bit of a rabbit hole here, but I think it's important because this is a recurring issue we've seen multiple times during these episodes, and I think it's finally time that we dive deeper into it. I've dealt with fake reviews on many past episodes, but something I've seen repeatedly is an average rating of 4.6. There's no way that could be a coincidence. And then I saw a CNBC video that talked about Amazon's fake review problem. And in the thumbnail for the video was the number, you guessed it, 4.6. I was now convinced this is not a coincidence. So I was intrigued. Unfortunately, the video didn't explain where the 4.6 comes from, and I still can't figure it out. There's probably some mathematical reason as to why it happens. But that aside, the video had a lot of other good nuggets in it. It's hard to trust many written reviews on websites like Amazon, especially Amazon. And Amazon has worked to limit this, but let's be real, they're working with hundreds of millions of products, so things are going to slip through the cracks. Fraudsters will make bot programs, and they will use open source technologies that are available to anybody to make this stuff happen. And the bots will leave fake reviews that sound like English. They're programmed to sound like a human, and they'll click star buttons and rating buttons. And this is also done by usually low-paid workers. This isn't just a thing that robots do. Humans are doing this stuff. Generally in a click farm setting where there's a bunch of people with a bunch of phones and a bunch of computers tapping on things. And the fact that this whole review problem exists, especially the click farm stuff, the fact that this stuff exists makes me a little upset. Personally, I just think rating and review systems on all websites for any product listing, honestly, should just be abolished, particularly on Amazon, because it's impossible to police everything right now. Why even bother? Review systems are abused so much. They've been turned into a form of marketing and advertising, really. And they've been weaponized, which is scary. So why even bother? Let's get back to reality here, Krazy Ken. We know that's not going to happen. So we'll just move on. That's why, more or less, I don't treat online written reviews seriously. I may skim them once in a while, but that's it. And I highly recommend you do the same as well. And if you really, truly need to find more written reviews for something, cross-check them with another website and see what those writers are saying too. Don't just treat them from one website as the one and only truth. So, getting back on track, again, this isn't the worst scam I've ever looked at. It's okay because it actually arrived and it arrived quickly. But the fake reviews and the fake video and the misleading ads and statements, that stuff just made me very wary of the company, and I wouldn't trust them. But you know what? Despite that, I went ahead and bought one. Like many other sites I've used before on the show, the checkout page is littered with fake loading bars, bogus discounts, and annoying post-transaction upsells, trying to get you to buy more products. But to my surprise, there weren't as many pop-ups as I usually see with other products. You get a thumbs up. But then they emailed me and texted me relentlessly with marketing offers after I made the purchase. So I'm gonna have to take some points off. But speaking of points, there's maybe a few points they can get back. There's a little bit of redemption here. Despite the BS claims in their product video, to RangeXTD's credit, they do say your internet speed is only as good as the hardware it runs on. And to an extent, that is true. Which leads us to the next thing I want to talk about. Let's take a look at what this thing actually is. And then we'll test it out and see how well it actually performs. The RangeXTD 3 is a Wi-Fi repeater. Sometimes this is referred to as an extender, depending on who you ask. This type of device helps extend wireless internet access into other areas of your home which may be a dead zone and they're receiving a weaker Wi-Fi signal due to distance from the router or other obstructions. How is this achieved? The Wi-Fi repeater receives a wireless signal from your router, and then it broadcasts its own signal, relaying the information it received and rebroadcasting it. It's important to note that it's not magically amplifying the original signal. So when you connect to the extended signal, you're actually not connecting to your router at all, but instead, you're connecting to the extender. On the inside of this RangeXTD product, there's a PixLink board with 2 antennae and a MediaTek radio right here. Overall, pretty simple internals. So that's the basics as to what this is and how a Wi-Fi repeater works. Now, in practice, how well does this particular thing work? Well, let's test it out. First impressions weren't that great because the box was slightly crumpled and it had a hole in it. Not a huge deal, but issues like this just make the whole experience feel cheap. The RangeXTD itself can be used in 3 modes: access point, repeater, and router. My main focus for this test is the repeater feature, so that's what I used. The specs say it can provide wireless speeds up to 300 megabits per second, which is only a fraction of my router's 1.3 gigabits per second rate. So I plugged in the extender at a near halfway point between my router and my iMac. Then I connected to it with the provided IP address and logged into the portal. The setup wizard was very reminiscent of early builds of Windows 8. I was also amused by the Internet Explorer and Microsoft Office icons. They just hijacked those designs from Microsoft and put them in their software. Yeah, I mean, who cares about intellectual property anyway? I added my network to the list, put in the password, and boom, the setup was actually quite painless. But now, it's time for the speed test. Without RangeXTD, my speed test peaked around 430 megabits per second down and ended on 224. The upload speed clocked in at 20.8. So then I ran the RangeXTD speed test and I got 15. And just a reminder, they value this thing at $99. The upload speed, however, wasn't affected much, so thumbs up there. So overall, pretty disappointing results. There's maybe some different things I could have tried to get the speed to be better, but you saw the numbers. Even if I would have quadrupled the down speed, I wouldn't have gotten close to what my router can normally give me. And personally, I've never used a Wi-Fi repeater. I never saw them useful for myself. Honestly, if you live in a bigger house and you have problems connecting to your central router, I highly recommend wiring access points through your house. That's going to give you a much better result than using these things anyway. So if you really need to extend your signal reach, do it the right way, wire access points. And personally, I'm still using my Airport Extreme. It is about 8 years old, but it can still provide blazing fast speeds. Even multiple rooms down where my office is, through walls, through closed doors, the router still works fine. No need for a Wi-Fi repeater here. And before we continue, I do want to thank a few awesome people who helped me write this episode. One of my viewers, Luke, thank you. And also Joe from Joe's Computer Museum. Thank you guys very much for helping out. And on that note, if anybody watching this is a subject matter expert on wireless communications, I would love to work with you on a future episode because I want to debunk things like those 5G blockers and stuff like that. So I think that'd be a lot of fun. And if you want to collaborate with me, feel free to send me a DM on Twitter, or you can email me too. All of my contact info is down below in the description. Also, I want to thank our sponsor Anker for making this episode possible. And believe me, their stuff works way better than this knockoff stuff. Oh yeah. Compared to the original 5-watt iPhone charger, the Anker Nano can charge 3 times faster, but it's about the same size. And it can even charge an iPhone 11 to 53% in just 30 minutes. And hey, if you buy a new iPhone 12, which doesn't come with a charger brick in most countries, the Anker Nano is the perfect solution. Anker also has a 2-port wall charger with dual USB-C ports, so you can charge your laptop and iPhone simultaneously, for example. It's also ultra compact and includes interchangeable plugs for use in the US, UK, and Europe. So if you're sick of slow charging, Anker is the way to go. So go ahead and click the link in the description to get your own Anker chargers right now. And when you do use that link, you're also supporting the Computer Klein YouTube channel. So thank you very much for your support. And thanks again, Anker, for partnering with us and making this episode possible. So that's the RangeXTD. Not the worst product I ever looked at on the show, but definitely not the greatest either, of course. So let me know what you think. And also feel free to subscribe for more tech episodes coming out every week, usually on Thursdays. I do have a knockoff pair of the AirPods Pro Max coming soon too, so that's going to be a lot of fun. I also am working on a follow-up to the UV lens scam, and I'll also be releasing soon a retrospective about one of the rarest Macintosh computers that Apple ever sold. So lots of fun stuff coming. And if you'd like to help me buy more knockoff crap, plus get some cool perks along the way, feel free to pledge to my Patreon. Thanks in advance for your support. And hey, if you like this episode, you know what to do. Thanks for sticking with me. Catch the crazy and pass it on.